Hello, for the second tech demo of this class, we are dealing with a 5th grade class, and the teacher is wanting an exit ticket, the new technology to use for exit tickets for her English language arts class. So the unit they're in right now is using the relationship between particular words such as synonyms, antonyms, homographs to better understand each of the words. And she wants each lesson to be built upon the previous day's lesson. So if she collected an exit slip, she would use that information to then build the second day's lesson. And in the past, she has used paper exit slips. So these have started to pile up because if she has 20 kids in her class and then 5 days a week, that's 100 paper slips. So it's really hard to keep them organized and understand what every student is truly getting from the lesson. So the goals of the new technology that she seeks out has to have the ability to read students' responses. So she wants to read each individual student's response, and she wants to use those responses to complete her lesson plans for the next day, as I said earlier. And she also wants to be able to track the growth of knowledge for individual students as well as the whole class. So that was the problem with the paper slips. It's really hard to get the whole growth of knowledge for the whole class. And she also wants to have the ability to give feedback to every individual student, because we all know how important effective feedback is for student success. And the challenges she is facing currently: the students have a tendency to write vague answers when completing the paper exit slips, so they'll write a few words and it's just not enough for her to really get a good idea of what they have understood from the lesson. And it is difficult to look through 20 different slips of paper and keep in mind the overall trend, which I once again said earlier. And then by the end of the week, there are 100 slips of paper. And due to the amount of papers that are required throughout the week, it is hard to see the growth of the student's understanding, and which in turn makes it difficult to give valuable feedback, because if she doesn't really understand the growth of the students, it's really hard to give feedback that will actually help them in the long run. So my recommended technology is Google Forms. And I recommend this because it allows the teacher to read every response immediately as well as the week progresses. So they could immediately read it once they get a response from the students, as well as go back in throughout the week and see what they said from the first day versus the last day, really see that growth. So that in turn allows the teacher to track the improvement of the students. And there's an option to give feedback to every individual student and every individual question on the form. And it sends it right back to them, as well as their grade if you happen to grade this, which paper exit slips usually aren't graded. And then it also is a little bonus. It gives the students a chance to self-reflect, to really reflect on what they have learned throughout the lesson and the chapter. Okay, I am starting off with a pretty much blank Google form that I titled Exit Slip 316. And I would just recommend putting the date on it so the students complete it every day and know which ones they have completed or not. And over here, if you go to these options, a drop-down box will appear. And these are the options on how you would like your students to answer these questions. So you have the short answer option, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop-down, a file upload, which I really like because if a student has like an artifact or a worksheet or something they're proud of during the lesson that day, they can upload it and you will have it forever. You can go back and look on it, see how well they did on that. They also give you a linear scale, multiple choice grid, or a checkbox grid. I really like the linear scale because it allows students to be able to rate themselves on, let's say, how comfortable they are with the information they have learned or how well they think they did during the lesson. Okay, so here's how that scaled question would look to students. So I have it set from 1 to 10, but in reality, you could have it set to any number you'd like. So you could do 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, etc. until you get up to 10. And then if you go over here to settings, you have to make sure you click Make This a Quiz. Because if you don't click Make this a Quiz, it will not allow you to provide any feedback on any questions. So if you were to send this out without making it a quiz, your students would not be able to get feedback easily from you on the Google Forms. And if you go down here to Form Defaults, I like the option to collect email addresses by default, because although your students' names will be on it, it's just easier to have their email addresses attached to the forms, and it also teaches them a little bit of responsibility. And then if you go over here to responses, this will show you how many students have responded. So right now on this one that I've created, there are 0 responses. But as soon as students start responding to the form, it will automatically update with how many responses you have. So I like that you don't have to refresh it. It can just automatically update. I really like that idea on Google Forms. Okay, and if you go up here to the right-hand corner and press send, you can, also up here it says collect email. So if you didn't want to go into the settings, you could also do it right there as well. And I like this option because you can email it to just particular students, or this is how you could link it to a Google Classroom. So you could connect this to any Google Classroom that you'd like. And then obviously that's the easier option for students when they have Chromebooks. So you just copy and then you would just take it over to Google Classroom. And perhaps one of my favorite things on Google Forms is the link to Sheets. This really helps the organization, especially compared to collecting paper slips for all week. So all of the information that you receive from these forms can be automatically linked to a Google Sheets. So it makes it incredibly easy to go back in and see every single day for every single student up until pretty much the end of the school year, just because it keeps it so organized. Okay, so here I have how Google Forms directly applies to the goals that were listed in the case study. So like I said earlier, students have to give their correct email addresses or names, which makes it easier to determine whose response is whose. So here I have a little screenshot from what it would look like from the student's point of view on how they would have to put their email in, and it has a little asterisk so you know it's a required question before they can submit the form. And then this is one of my favorite parts of Google Forms, as I said earlier, the scaled option. So it allows for the bigger picture understanding to be easier because it is automatically put into graphs once it is collected. So you can go back to the response form that I had pulled up earlier, and I will show you again once I go back to Google Forms. So I really like this because once students continue to put in responses, here you can see only one response was recorded, but she has 20 kids in her class, so it would give you the percentage of how comfortable they're feeling or what they understand from the lesson that was taught. Another how it applies to the goals is there's an option to give individual feedback to every question. So right down here, you would have to click add individual feedback, and then you could put your feedback for just this particular question. And I really like that because it's different than giving a feedback for the whole of the form. It's really personal and they understand exactly what you are giving feedback on if it's for every individual question. And like I said earlier, this is done completely online and can be organized into a Google spreadsheet, making it incredibly easy to find information from individual lessons at the end of the week. Okay, so now we'll be talking about how Google Forms meets the challenges criteria. Students have to fill out every single question before they can submit the form. I like this option because if they were to just get on the form, put in their email, and be able to submit it, then you're really not going to give a lot of information. So having it being required questions really allows you to gather information that you need, and which is critical to their success. And questions such as the scaling question gets put into an organized graph automatically, which I said earlier really helps with the organization part of it. And once again, the organization part of it puts the information into a Google Sheets. So that information is always going to be organized. And it's easy to get feedback on every individual question on the form. Okay, so now I'm back on Google Forms, and this is a form that I had created earlier. So this form is viewed as the teacher's form point of view. So this form is collecting emails. We already know that. We're going to go back up to our settings. Okay, it's a quiz. You'll be able to get feedback. So once we scroll down, we see we have the linear scale question. We have a long answer text, which I asked, what was the most important thing you learned today and why? And then a couple more long answer texts of questions such as, were there any parts of the lesson that left you confused? If so, write them down below. I really like this question if you were wanting to give them feedback because they can put a question they still have from the lesson or something that really stumped them, and then you can lead them in the right direction when you give them feedback. And then another one, if you could change one part about the lesson today, what would it be and why? And this, I think, really helps you in the long run, teachers that is, because it allows you to say, okay, so majority of the students wanted me to change this part of the lesson versus majority of the students didn't want me to change this part of the lesson. So it also allows you to, when you teach that lesson again the next year, it allows you to kind of tweak it based on what the students suggest. Okay, and we can see up here we have two responses. So if we go to that, we will be able to see this is just one particular student. So you can score it if you're wanting to, but usually wouldn't score, an exit slip. So you can see they put their full email in. They answered 8 on the how comfortable do you feel about the information that was taught in this lesson. And then this would be their long answers. So right here you can see add individual feedback. So you can enter the feedback, say, oh, I'm glad that you were comfortable or whatever. And also I really like the fact that you can put in a YouTube video down here, because let's say they were getting stumped on which the teacher said synonyms and antonyms. You could find a really good YouTube video that has a good explanation on the difference between them and, like key concepts of the lesson that you're being taught. And you can just paste that in there along with your own words, just for a little extra nudge in the right direction for the students. Okay, and here I wanted to show you the student's point of view of the exit form slips. So here the first question will always be, what's your email? So by making this like a default question, it will always be at the top, so they have to do that first. And here is what the scale question will look like, and then where they can type their answer for the last few. And let's fill this out just so you can see what it looks like after they submit it from their point of view. So we'll say they're feeling pretty comfortable, and we'll just type something random just so we can turn this in and submit it. All right, so we'll press submit. And then once it has been recorded, they do have the option to submit another response, which you can turn that off if you don't want them to. But I kind of like leaving it on, because if they were to go about their day and be like, oh man, I really forgot that I wanted to change that part of the lesson, or I should have included this into one of my answers, then they can always go in and submit another response. Okay, so now we're back at the teacher's point of view and the responses. So now we have 3 different responses, and obviously the email is going to be the same because I had to fill it out. But if they were different students, you would see right down here that if you change it, every single one would be a different email. So you would know whose is whose and what is what. And once you add all the feedback that you want to, you can release their score. So they will get an email or a notification that their score has been released, or they will have feedback. So that's really nice that they will be notified that they do or did receive feedback. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed Google Forms.